Okay, everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about the measures of a position. Okay. There are two ways we can measure the position. One is called the percentile, and the other one is called quartile. Percentile simply means that you are dividing the elements within a data set into 100 groups. And the quartile means that you are dividing the elements in the data set into 4 different groups. Okay, so we're going to look at the percentile first. So let's look at the percentile first. There are 2 different things that we can find using percentile. So first one is called the finding percentile of a value x. The other one is going to be finding the value when you're given the percentile. So there are 2 different ways that we can find these values here. So I have an example here of the data here. So let's assume that we want to find the we are looking at the finding percentile. So let's say we want to find the I'm just going to look at this one there. So I want to find the percentile of value 14 from the example that I just wrote it up here. So what we have to do now is that we're going to have to find out how many values are less than 14. So that means you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there are 9 values are less than 14. So that means we're going to put that on the top. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and divided by total number of values. So you got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we got 15 there. Okay, then we're going to have to multiply this by 100. And that will give us the percentile of the value 14. So that means if I calculate this, so 9 divided by 15, 9 divided by 15, I got 0.6. So 0.6 times 100, that's going to be a 60th percentile. Okay. Now we can also write this using the notation we call P60. So that kind of indicates the 60th percentile. So that was the finding percentile of the value x. Now the other one that we need to look at is to finding the value when you're given the percentile. So let me just do that. So let's say we want to find the value of, okay, so value of P, let's say 70. So we want to know which value take the position of the 70th percentile. So we need to follow this direction here. It says converting from kth percentile to the corresponding data value. So we already sort the data from lowest to highest. I did that for you. Okay. And then we're going to have to find what we call position value, L. Okay, so let's find the position value L. So that means K is the percentile in question. So there's going to be a 70. Then divided by 100. Then we multiply by the number of elements that we have. So we have a 15. Right? Let's make sure that we have a 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes. So this L value is going to give us the position, the location of the percentile that we are looking for. Okay? So let's find out what number this is. So we got 70 divided by 100. and then times 15, I have 10.5. Now, the rule here is that if L is the decimal number, it doesn't matter how small decimal is, you always round up. Okay? So since this is a decimal, we're going to round up to the 11th data. Okay, now, excuse me. Let me just erase this. Okay, so let me just erase this. So if you have any decimal points, how small it is, it doesn't make any difference. You're always going to round up. So in this case, I'm going to have 11th value. Okay? So now we're going to count them what the 11th value is. So we got, okay, I'm going to erase that later. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's going to be your 11th value. Right? So the answer is going to be, okay, it's going to be value 18. Oftentimes there are students, they said L is going to be 10.5 and they think this is the answer. That's not it. Okay? So the L is going to be merely pointing where the answer is. Okay? So if it's going to be decimal, okay, you're always going to round up, okay, to the next higher whole number. So every time you have a 0.1, 0.2, it doesn't make any difference. You're always going to round up and then get the value after you round up to the next higher value. So what happens if you have, let's say, whole number? So let's say we want to find the value of P50. Okay, so the L value now becomes what? 50 divided by 100, okay, times 15. So that's going to be about 1/2, right? Is it going to be? Okay, hang on. So we have 50 times 15 divided by 100. Oh, let's try instead of 50, I'm going to do 60. Okay, so let's say 60 times 15 is 900 divided by 100. So that's going to be a 9, right? So now this time it's not decimal, it's just a whole number. Okay? So in that case, what you do is that you go to the 9th value, right? I'm going to use a different color here. So we go to the 9th value, then go up to the next higher one, then we're going to average them. Okay? So go to 9th value, okay, and average with next higher one, next higher value. Okay, so if I go to the data and I count down to the 9th value, we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is going to be a 9th value here. Oh, the 13, that is 13. Sorry about that. Let me just erase everything here. That. Oh, no. Oh, crap. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so what happened here is we found out what the 9th value is. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 13. Okay, so that's the 9th value. And according to the rule, you're going to have to average with the next higher ones. That will be 13 plus 14 divided by 2. Let me just Let's do this again. Okay, so we have what, 13 plus the 14 divided by 2, that would be 13.5. Okay, so the so in this case, P60, right? The value of the P50 is going to be, okay, it's not 9, this is just the location value here, so that would be 13.5. So it's kind of a little bit confusing about the finding the value when you're given a percentile. But the reason for that is because sometimes the L value, the location value you get is about decimal, sometimes you get the whole number. So just remember that if you have a decimal L value, it's a lot easier because you just round up to the higher value and go to their location, and that's going to be your answer. But if it's going to be the whole number, then you go to the that, whatever the L value that you are indicated, then you go to that location and find the value, then average with the next higher one, okay? Then that would be the value. Now, you cannot confuse between the location value and the actual value there, okay? All right, next one is called the quartile. Now, quartile is simply the dividing the entire group with the 4 different ways. So the Q1, all you have to do here is that you divide. There's a total of 15. Okay, then you multiply by 1/4. Okay, so that will give you a Q1. Now, when you find the quartile, you don't actually use this rule that we just used for the percentile. So on the quartile, we just use the normal roundup rule. So here's the 3.75. So you round up because 3.75, if you look at the decimal, it's going to be more than 5. That's going to be the 4th. So in this case, it's going to be what? Value, 4th value, which is equal to 7. Okay, so you do the exactly same way for the other 3. Q2, same thing. You got 15 times 2/4. Okay. So we have about 7.5. Again, in this quartile, we use the normal roundup rule. So that's going to be 8th value. So if you go to the 8th value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that would be a 12. And the Q3, same thing. You got 15 times 3/4. So you got 15 times 3 divided by 4. I get 11.25. So if you're going to apply the roundup rule, 0.25 is not greater than 0.5, so it's going to be 11th. We're going to discard that one. 11th value, right? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that would be 18. And the Q4 is obviously what? 30, right? Because it's going to be our last one. Okay, because you got 15 times 4/4, which is a 1. 1 times 15, you get 15th value, which is a 30, right? So there's a couple of things that, we have to remember, because I have some students saying that, isn't there like a P25 same as a Q1? Yes, it is. But it depends on the, what kind of data you have. You may not exactly have the same value because the, rounding up rules that we have here and number of, elements in the data, if it's going to be small, then you're not going to get the exact value there. Okay, so if I ask you to, for example, find the value